questions for Amanda. I was wondering what motivated you to keep dancing despite all of the hardships you faced?
I think what motivated me is that when I was growing up, I didn't have anybody to look up to in the dance industry that was working, that looked like me. And so I think something that motivates me is I always say that I want to be the someone like me that I didn't have for other people. So that's something that really motivates me to keep going, because I know that I'm not just doing this for me, I'm doing it for hundreds of thousands of people around the world that aren't able to. So it's like I have a responsibility to fight this fight for people that can't. And then something else that motivates me is, I think I said this earlier as well, but people that try to knock me down, they truly, I'm so grateful for them, because they motivate me so much. You know, if I had my dance journey and there were no struggles along the way, I wouldn't appreciate how far I've come and the walls I've had to break down to be as successful as I am today. So I love when people say bad things about me, because I know it's gonna help me, because it'll really bug me, and then I'm like, oh, okay, you haven't seen anything yet. Like, no, don't underestimate me, because you'll regret it in 2 seconds. But yeah, okay.
For everyone. So what feeling or what idea do you want these girls to walk away with after hearing you guys speak?
I want you guys to walk away feeling like you can relate to us. Because I feel like sometimes, you know, some of us, or all of us are very, what is the word I'm trying to say? We're very successful, and we're people that other people look up to, and, you know, we're on a great journey, whatever. And so sometimes people look at us and kind of put us on a pedestal sometimes, and they're like, oh, like, you know, they don't have any insecurities, they don't have any issues, they're so successful, they're all this, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, we're just like you guys. We're the exact same. We just did what people said we couldn't, and we lived boldly and unapologetically to get to where we are. But I hope that you guys just feel like we relate to you, and I hope you saw some of yourselves in us. Yeah, I hope that made sense. I don't know, it made sense in my head.
I think most of all, I hope you all just feel inspired to be you, and whatever that means, whether that's like loving yourself, or on the journey to love yourself, or on your mental health journey and trying to figure out how you feel comfortable and figure out your feelings and to actually share them. Just to literally be inspired to do anything that has to do with your self-care. That's what I hope for all of you.
I definitely would love to echo what these both ladies next to me said. I think like walking out of here to know it's okay to not feel okay, and it's not the end of the world. Things do get better. I've learned that in counseling. I mean, I've been a big advocate of counseling, just especially if it's something where you want to talk to someone outside your inner circle, family, friends. I do believe that saying that it's sometimes easier to talk to a stranger, just because you feel maybe perhaps less judged or less quote unquote crazy. I used to feel for years like quote unquote crazy, until I think as time went on, I realized things do get better. So I think it's okay to not feel okay, and that there is hope, and there's ways to deal with whatever's going on in your life, whatever's going on inside your head.
Yeah, I'm in total alignment with what these ladies just said as well. And so I do some coaching as well. I coach figure skating. And one of my favorite things to do is like visualization exercises with my students. And so sometimes, if, let's say it's before like a big event, a big competition, I'll have them close their eyes, and I'll have them imagine that I'm handing them a gift card. And I'll say, the gift card can look like anything you want. It can be pink and sparkly, and it is literally an unlimited gift card to your freedom to skate. And I sort of would love to impart that same idea to you guys, that you leave with like this beautiful like gift card. There's no limit, it's unlimited, just this sense of freedom to do you, pursue you, And know that whatever you're struggling with mental health, with any of these things, that you're free. You're free to get help. You're not burdened by anything. So take that as you will, but I hope you leave with just a sense of lightness and freedom and just excitement to go forward with whatever it is you're facing next.
I'm just gonna re-echo that. Each one of us up here has an I am statement. I'm an author, I'm a producer, I'm a dancer, I'm a figure skater. It is I am. So what I hope you guys get from this is you each have an I am statement. You have multiple. What's your I am statement? That's what I want to leave you with.
That wraps up our personal questions, but now we want to open up the panel to the audience.
Hi. I guess I kind of classify as a feminist, but there have been struggles, especially with teenage girls. I just want to know all of your thoughts on body hair.
Hello. I stopped shaving my legs 2 years ago, and my armpits actually. I got out of a long relationship, don't know why I was doing it anyway, whatever. And I talk about it with a lot of my friends too, because they'll put on their skirts or their shorts and be like, I have to shave my legs. And I'm like, girl, no you don't. It's okay. Honestly, do whatever in my opinion, do whatever you want to do. If you want to shave it, it feels better, cool. If you don't, that's fine too. It's something I've had a lot of talks about with older people, as in around parents' age, because they're just like, how could you? And I'm like, do you see how hot I am? Yes, it's very easy. So go out there and just do truly whatever makes you feel good. Yes, people are gonna look and stare and blah, 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 but that doesn't take down who you are and how cool you are and how dope of a person you are. It's literally body hair. We are born with it. Some people aren't. That's cool too. So it really doesn't matter.
I have a question. With careers, obviously there's ups and downs as with life, but when you're facing low points in your career, how do you separate that from your life and maintain your happiness in just your daily life?
I think that's going to be always inevitable. Schoolwork, career, it kind of goes back to that social media thing. You post your highlights. But I've been kind of finding helpful, and I know, I'm sure, a lot of, I think I checked out all your accounts, and I know you ladies do the same thing, and I always find it inspiring with other accounts, kind of go back to following accounts that inspire you. If someone's like, hey, look at me on the red carpet, but I was crying on the way there, they're being honest. So, to me, I think when you see someone in a position of power, quote-unquote celebrity, an actress, your favorite writer, director, producer, I think it takes away those unrealistic thoughts that go in your head. You're like, oh no, wait, they're human. So it kind of comes down to that, no matter what, it's, I think just being honest about it, not with just others, but with yourself. I mean, I think that's key, is just if you recognize it, there's no stopping, and that kind of, I think as long as you know, hey, this, I'm having a bad day, and I think seeing it as a bad moment, not it's not gonna ruin your career, it's not gonna ruin your schoolwork. I mean, I was a straight A student, I got my first F and I cried, and I remember, I think it was a relative said, Mija, you're, stop it, what did you use, you gonna sleep that night before? I'm like, no, I was up all night studying, okay, well, maybe don't try that again. So it's kind of looking at different avenues. If this didn't work, let's try a different one.
I have something on that too. Go ahead.
Okay. So as far as highs and lows, I get really butthurt when I get cut at a dance audition. I take it so seriously. I'm like, oh my god, but I'm amazing. How do you not like me? And I get very upset, and I'm like, why didn't they like me? Was it because of the way I look? Am I just not a good dancer? I get so down on myself. But there is, I don't know if he made this quote, but there's something that I hear from my favorite person in the entire world, RuPaul. Oh my god, literally the best ever. But he always says that other people's opinions of you is none of your business. And I love that, because whenever at an audition, or at auditions specifically, like when I get so upset, I'm like, okay, that's one person's opinion of me, and like, it doesn't matter, it's not gonna change my whole life. Like, I'm fine, I'm alive, I'm good, and their opinions are none of my business.
So, I believe in writing down affirmations. In fact, I have, like, I'll even laminate them and like keep them in my wallet and read them before things. But one of my favorite ones is, my blessings are always bigger than my problems. And I think that's a great one for when you're trying to not get consumed by the professional ups and downs, is to remind yourself that there are people that would be celebrating the fact that they're at the opportunity to even have the problem. You know, and if you're not solving problems, if you're not having anxieties about, or not even anxieties, but if you don't care about these big wins or these big losses, then there's no real fun in life, right? So it's, yeah, my blessings are always bigger than my problems. And then just, you're so young, like, just remember, as soon as that's done, you're going to be reaching for something else later. You know, it's like, that's what amazes me. Like, when I look at my career, my dream was to go to UCLA when I was in high school. And I thought, okay, well, once I go to UCLA, like, my life's kind of done because that's what I want to do, you know. And then you graduate and you're like, okay, now, like, what's next? You get on this, like, hamster wheel, right? So just remembering my blessings are bigger than my problems. It's just a nice, simple way to ground yourself and like, look, girl, we're lucky to have these problems.
A lot of girls, if it's getting ready in the morning, or they get their clothes ready, or they look at themselves and don't feel confident, do you guys have anything that you guys tell yourself to be more confident, to boost up your confidence?
So one of the first things I did right when I started on my journey was literally stand in front of the mirror, getting ready or just find time when no one's around, and stare at myself and out loud say, I'm beautiful, I am confident. Did I believe them? Hell no. I was really hoping that literally no one was around. But I stared at myself in the eyes. I'm beautiful, I'm confident, I got this. Those affirmations, it's really that reconditioning your brain, right? So let's start there.
Have you ever heard of the Wonder Woman stance? Yeah, it actually works. I did it, I do it everywhere. I did it at the grocery store the other day. So, you plant your feet slightly wider than distance apart. You put your hands in fists, you do this, and you look up to the sky for 5 seconds. And it's literally scientifically proven to boost your mood, give you more mental clarity. There's
studies.
There's actual studies
there's
about
actual.
this, yes. So what you can do is if you're going into a big event, you have a test, you're standing at your locker, you know, it doesn't have to be like a big dramatic thing. You just plant your feet and you just breathe and hold it for 5 seconds. You'll feel your core engage, your head will rise up. You will be more confident instantly. So practically, I would try that a couple times too.
In school, just do it in the bathroom stall.
This is Amanda. So I'm a dancer, so when I take private classes, I can like kill my combos, but when I do group classes or group auditions, I always find myself so nervous that I can't remember to do anything. So like, what would you suggest for that? Okay, suggestions for, so pretty much you just kind of get like nervous that there are so many people kind of watching you? Okay, I would say, this is hard because I'm just like naturally, I love like performing in front of people because I'm like spoiled and I need all the attention. But I would say that there's honestly no real difference performing in front of just your teacher or performing in front of like all your classmates. It's the same. And honestly, if you go to a dance studio, like everyone there, if you really think about it, they're too worried about themselves for getting the combo. They're not worried about you. They're worried about themselves. So just remember that honestly, that they're not gonna like not be your friend anymore if you mess up a step. So just remember that you're there for yourself, and honestly, no one's gonna care if you mess up. You're all there to grow, you're all there to do what you're passionate about, and everyone makes mistakes. I've made so many mistakes, some bad ones. But is my career ruined? No. You know, I'm still here, I'm still, you know, doing what I'm passionate about. So I hope it helped a little bit. But okay.
So this question is also for Amanda. So as a dancer going into the professional dancing industry, what advice do you have when going into auditions, like the do's and don'ts, and how to react when you do not get accepted or into a callback?
Okay. Things to do when you go to an audition. Okay. So my very first audition in LA, it was to get a dance agency. And everyone was so worried about getting the choreography perfect. You know, everyone's thinking, oh, if I don't get the choreography right, they're not going to hire me. And that if I get the choreography right, it's like, okay, I'm perfect, I look great, they're going to hire me, whatever. But I didn't have the combo perfect. I did not know what I was doing. But what I did do is I performed. And I looked them right in the eye and made them see how happy I was to be there and how much I truly love dancing. So I would say, remember when you go into an audition or any performance or even class and things like that, your attitude is more important than, you know, being perfect. Because anyone can do the steps if they practice hard enough, but not everyone can perform like you can. So that's something that I always try to remember, because I do get down on myself if I mess up in class. I'll get really upset. I'm like, oh my God, now I can't post that video. But then I realized, you know, it's not even about the steps. If I look like I'm having fun and I am engaging the audience, then I've done my job. It's not about the steps. And at the end of the day, people could care less about the steps. If you are performing at a show, you know, there's not going to be parents in the audience like, oh wow, like her mom wasn't turned out enough, or whatever it is. They're not worried about the steps. They don't know the choreography. They don't know how much time you have put into perfecting the choreography. All they get out of it is the story and how much fun you're having, and they can tell if you are having a good time on stage or not. And then as far as don'ts, going back to like auditions, I would say, what's something that I do that's not good? I feel like I always kind of compare myself to the other people in my group, because they'll do it like 5 at a time, and I'm always like, okay, who am I going with? Like, am I better than them, or am I gonna have to like really? And that should not affect your performance. You know, you should be worried about yourself and worried about, you know, what you're doing. So don't be looking around at everyone else thinking, oh, like she did really good, they really like her, because they're gonna like you just as much. So just kind of focus on yourself, and yeah.
And I know like sometimes now, like, well, at least me, like I let other people influence me sometimes. So for you guys, I know you guys are really big on like social media. So do you let other people like influence like what you post and stuff like that? And if you do, like how do you like get away from that?
Can you answer that, Jasmine, first?
Yeah. Are you saying specifically like friends telling you what pictures to post? Or how are you, what do you mean? Sorry.
Just like other people trying to like influencing you like how to act and stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah, I don't care about anybody else but me when it comes to like my social media and stuff, just because, I don't know, I feel the best when I put anything out that is the truest form of myself, which I'm sure we all do that, you know? Anybody that I see, I'm always like, oh, you know, good for you, but I'm gonna still do me. Even specifically, like, when I post pictures in like swimsuits, I'll lose like 3,000 to 4,000 followers, like in a day, easy. And for a lot of last year, I wouldn't post any of that stuff because I was like, my numbers matter. And now this year, I'm like, let me go out here, let me show you me in this swimsuit, because I don't care anymore, to be honest, because I wasn't letting myself be myself before, but now I'm just like, numbers don't matter. Instagram's probably not gonna be cool in like 5 years anyway, so keep doing you. do whatever truly feels good to you, so you know at that time you put yourself first.
And you don't even have to be on social media. Like, I think this has to be said too. Like, you guys don't have to be on Instagram. Yeah. Let me tell you, girlfriend, I went all of college without Facebook. I just never had one. And then when I graduated, I was like, okay, I need to reconnect with some people. But you do not have to be on social media at all. You have a right to your own privacy, and you can change that at any time. But does it make you any less cool? None of that. You know, unfortunately for a lot of us, like for business reasons, we are required to be on social media, but there are plenty of times when I'm like, you know what, if I wasn't doing this profession, I don't even think I'd have one. So keep that in mind too. That's it.
Do any of you like have any suggestions for like performing, like singing or theater? Because I sometimes like to go on stage and sing, but I get really nervous before and after. And I always think like, oh, the crowd's gonna like not like it. Oh, what if I mess up on this line or anything like that?
So I used to skate for Disney on Ice, and I would get so terrified. I would get such stage fright that I would just like clam up, and my mouth would get all dry and everything. And one of my friends who had been doing the shows for several years, she told me, she said, we're giving them the opportunity to see something fun. Like, they get to escape like their regular boring day to enjoy what we're bringing to them. So don't look at it as you're performing for them. Like, it's a privilege that they get to watch you perform. That change of like, they're lucky to get to see you perform will radically like lessen your nerves, because when you feel like you have to do this for them, it's not a safe place. Like, biologically, chemically, our bodies are just like, I don't want to do that. That makes me uncomfortable. But if you're like, yeah, let me share this with you. Yeah, you get to see this, cool. You don't like it? Also cool, but take it or leave it.
I think when it comes to any sort of public speaking performance, or even something such as this, or speaking, sharing your story, I think what I always found helpful was just being honest with myself about that. Like, you know, hey, I hate speaking, and 9% of the time, that would like a laugh out of the room. Like, no, I really do. Like, I'm really nervous. Like, my mouth's dry, you know, my heart's beating fast. So performance, what I found helpful was, I think talking about it or confiding to someone, especially on these panels. The other panels tend to be nervous, and we're all like kind of laugh about it, like, oh, yes, okay, so I feel less alone. So I definitely think it's like a mentality matter as well. I think if you like, hey, I feel a little nervous, like I just want to like talk to you, like just to like kind of get my nerves down. There's so many, I mean, your colleagues, your friends are probably feeling this similar, same mind state and similar thoughts and feelings about it. So I think it's just one of those, you know, next performance, I think, you know, feeling nervous, definitely talk to a classmate or singing. Definitely, I think what's helped is singing for like, you know, someone you trust, a trusted friend, or even a teacher. And I guarantee that I'm sometimes will give advice, breathing exercises, or sometimes even just taking a walk around before a show, and whether you're with someone or solo, to clear your head. I think that the beauty is there's so many, I think, techniques to help calm the nerves.
I have a friend who she's on my team, and if we would learn to dance and we'll have to go in groups and perform it, and if I'm in her group or not, like after we're dancing, she'll be like, oh yeah, this person says that I'm better than you, and then she'll just like, yeah.
She's insecure. That's not her trying. The reason she's saying that is because she wants to make sure that no one's saying that she's the worst, because she feels really insecure about her dancing. So that's kind of like for anything in life, whenever people try to like knock you down on purpose, it's because they feel bad about themselves and not because they actually think that, you know, you're ugly or whatever, you're too loud or your dance isn't as good as mine. They're saying that because they're not confident in themselves, so they want to make you feel insecure so that they feel better about themselves. So just try to keep that in your head that whenever she's saying that, honestly, you might just want to be like, why are you so insecure? Like, just tell her that. Be like, okay, no, you're not. Like, just act like, I would do that. I do that to people. Whenever people are like, oh, Amanda, you know, whatever, the girl in your group, the girl to the left was better than you, or you didn't do that as good as you could have. I'm like, okay, well, why do you think you did so bad? I'm like, why are you so upset? I don't know. Just kind of realize that it's not a you problem, it's a they problem, their problem. Yeah.
How do you deal with the stigma for mental health and like dealing with how to explain it to people that don't experience it?
So mental health, it's always like a challenge. I think thoughts, feelings can become scary. I think it's like kind of connecting to someone, that's what you're asking me, is like how to explain it. Yeah. I think if you have a great support team, I know this sounds like a huge cliche. It really, I used to think it was a cliche hearing this, but I think as you get older, so I'm now like, I'm probably a good 10 years older than most of you here, or maybe more, 15. I've learned, I believe in that whole thing, the 5 people you're surrounded by, it says a lot about you. So if you're around people who are supportive, they're your cheerleaders, it says a lot about them versus being around people who might insult you. Like, you know, I used to have friends that say, "We go to therapy, aren't you embarrassed? Like, I got like a race bullet, like, you're Mexican, we don't believe in doctors, you go like be a gypsy," and I'm like, no, like, I'm trying to open up to you. So it's definitely, I think, people who will listen. I think a good support team, family, friends, I think you'll be able to tell if they make you feel better after opening up to them about, like, you know, anything, like, I'm feeling like I had a bad day, or I feel really crummy about myself. I think a good support team will do what they can, either they'll listen, they'll give you advice, or even I have friends too, if I'm having a bad day, they'll be like, let's just go out and not talk about work. Like, let's just like go on a hike. I know Maddie and I will do it sometimes. She's like, let's just go on a hike and let's just go. So I think you definitely think it's next time is just kind of check in like the 5 people like you surround yourself with. And it's okay to like cut ties if you feel like someone says something that's hurtful. Especially today, I've learned in counseling, counseling is a huge part of my life. I've learned it's okay to tell someone, hey, that hurt my feelings. Like, that wasn't cool that you shamed me for therapy, or you shamed me because I said I wasn't feeling well, or mentally or physically. So I think it's definitely, don't be afraid to say that, and if they don't like your response, I kind of always go back to, are they really your true friend, your true supporter, and if they want to hate, I mean, that's on them, that's nothing to do with you.
Yeah, also, I'm very upfront with the people around me too, and even like on my social media and a lot, like if I'm having a bad day, I will say that, and not even like a bad day, but like, for examples, I have a lot of anxiety, but one of them is when I like travel on planes, and I'll just straight up tell people, like, flight attendants, people next to me, I'm like, yo, I'm terrified. I hate doing this. And I'm just like, yo, if you see me crying in this corner over here, it's because I'm terrified. So I just like tell people straight up what's going on, just because one, it's just something that makes me feel more comfortable, because when you share what's going on in your head, you're like, is this a burden on them? Like, I'm like, I don't care, I'm letting you know, I'm scared, this is what's happening. So I always at least try to be honest and truly like, let me just say how I feel to people around me.
You know like when you have like friends or like people around you who like are constantly telling you, oh, I'm so ugly, like, oh my god, like, I'm so fat. And you're like, you literally weigh like 1 pound and you're gorgeous. So like, why are you talking? But you can't say that. You just have to be like, you're so pretty. Don't. But they constantly keep telling you that they're ugly.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that?
Yeah, that stuff sucks. I have so many friends that are like, oh, I have nothing to wear. I can't eat anything. I have to do this. And I'm like, girl. Like, I'm here with like half the options of clothing to wear because I can't even shop in stores because y'all are messed up. So, like, and I'm still looking this good, you can find anything. Like, sometimes you need to let people know their privilege, honestly, and just be like, in a nice way, or however you can, but just be like, hey, we're all out here struggling. I know you feel like that's a struggle right now, but that's not what I see. So, let's just talk about this and keep it moving, because you don't need to have those thoughts on you in your head too, because it's just not gonna help anything.
I wanted to add, because I remember in high school, my best friends did that. She would always, we used to have breaks, I think they called it was pre-recess, pre-actual 1-hour break at like 30 minutes. And I remember we would always go to the bathroom, and she always wanted to hang out there, and she'd always look in the mirror and be like, I'm so fat and ugly. She would yell it, and people overheard it one day, and it was mean, because, of course, it got like some insults, some like guys would tell her, yeah, you are. And I think once I heard boys telling her that, like, yeah, you are ugly and fat, I actually pulled aside my friend and was like, are you okay? Like, is someone calling you this, like, in class? Is something going on at home? So I think it's kind of an upfront thing. I would just flat out ask, and especially if I saw them get insulted even more, I tend to not like it. So I was like, hey, that's my friend. Like, don't call a girl fat. Like, I think I told the boy that. I was like, don't call her that. I think she's going through something. So I think if it's like next time your friend does that, I think if you want to ask them within your group of friends, trusted circle, or one-on-one, I mean, don't be afraid to ask if, hey, is someone saying this to you, or do you just feel that way about yourself? I always say if someone says that, I'm fat or ugly, I think something's going on internally that's making them kind of have those thoughts daily.
Also, it's okay to be fat and ugly.
Those are great points. So I was actually having a conversation with my mom about this a couple weeks ago, because that does happen. I have friends who are skinnier than me, and I was like, I'm fat. I'm like, you do know I weigh more than you, right? And so like you telling this, like if you think you're, an elephant, like what does that make me? Like, right? Who's bigger than you? And I was asking my mom, like, why do people do that? And my mom was like, because their sense of themselves is so distorted, because they do comment, they're like, well, you're fine, like you look great, like you're fine. But if you're calling yourself fat and I'm bigger than you, then you're then calling me fat. I'm like, but they're not. People pour out a lot more. We all know we are our own worst critics, right? And so it's so interesting and sad that, at least we're like, because the person's like, okay, you look great, you're fine, but I'm the one that has all the problems, right? Just, as a reminder to show just how self-critical we are of ourselves and how distorted our beliefs are about ourselves.
I love how blatantly upfront you are, and whenever people I know try to be as blatant in general, people will say, oh, you're so mean, you're so sassy, or stuff like that. How do you deal with that, or do you deal with that?
Yeah, first you have to realize, being a woman of color, that often that is projected in society in general when you speak up. So a lot of that can be societal norms of people thinking like, oh, once a woman of color opens their mouth, then they're automatically sassy or this. So don't think into it too hard. But yes, I'm a very upfront person, and even if I tried to lie, I couldn't. I do take a lot of time to at least spend time in my head, because I'll even have friends that won't, they'll tell me certain things later because they know I would give them the truth. And I'm like, if y'all don't want to be my friend because I'm telling you the truth in a nice way, that's okay, And there are some people that'll rock with you because of that, and there's some people that won't. So just make sure when people are telling you that you're mean and you're sassy, if you truly aren't being mean, don't take into that. If you're being at least honest and at least friendly, in that way that you can talk to your friends, do that. But there's so much messed up stuff and so many more people who are actually truly mean that you don't have to worry about that. So just make sure you're being honest, you're being a good friend. Those are the most important things.
Hi, I've always been one person that wants to be like friends with everyone, but how do you, like, cause there are some people that aren't good people to be in your life, but how do you try like to get them out of your life but in a nice way so that other people don't think, oh, she just totally cut that person out of her life and I don't want to be friends with her like that, you know? But how do you cut out toxic people but in a friendlier way?
Me and my mom like made a pact that like I could blame anything on her, and to this day I'm like, yo, my mom just ain't down that. So when I was younger though, I would used to be like, my mom said no, I can't do it. But now at least I've gotten a lot more. Like if somebody's being like, oh, you just cut them out of your life, and I'll be like, yeah. That's what I did, and you want to know why? Because this is my life, and I'm doing what's best for me. And if they want to go and like be toxic around other people, that's great. I only rock with people that help and uplift me, and I will do the same for them. And if they aren't doing that for me, there is no need for us to even talk. So if you want to cut people out of your life, and people are being like, you cut people out of your life, like yes, I did, and that's just fine. You might be next, so okay.
To reiterate, you don't need to justify yourself.
Also, yeah.
So much, especially, us girls and women, every move we make, we feel like we have to have a reason for it, right? Sometimes you just wanted to, so you did, right? And so if a person is not, uplifting you, cut them off, So that's, don't justify yourself. But, as far as, being civil, just, find a time to explain to the person, how they hurt you. And you've been bringing this into my life, and unless they're willing to